Welcome on the Cosmic Atom, my dearest buddy. I have something important to tell you, and I will not wait until you are ready. Because deep down you already are. God is pleased of you. Not because you followed the rules exactly. Not because you kept quiet when you were meant to yell. Not even because you maintained your faith in the face of overwhelming odds. God is proud of you for continuing to grow even when everyone around you advised you it would be easy to give up. Perhaps you haven't always heard that. Perhaps no one said it to you when you were younger, when you did the right thing by shaking hands, when you gave up your last piece of strength and still didn't get what you needed. Perhaps no one noticed when you chose love softly in a situation when vengeance would have made far more noise. But heaven did. That's the portion you'll need to sit with today. Nothing positive you've accomplished has gone unnoticed. You've been walking with spiritual integrity that doesn't call for acclaim. You've broken patterns, cleared bloodlines, and maintained peace in areas where fury was the dominant language. You've taken therapeutic choices with no assurance of reward. Every time you did, you created something immortal. You see, God is not impressed by appearances. You do not get heavenly favor by doing your pain perfectly. That is not what this is. That is not who you are. You're not getting honored for suffering silently. You're getting recognized for your success. Truthfully, for being genuine in your storms. For not giving up your light to fit into places that misunderstood your humility for weakness, for experiencing all and yet returning to love. Not the feeling, but the decision. You have no clue how unusual it is. Someone who can walk through fire without becoming the fire itself has a special type of strength. Someone who can plainly observe cruelty but chooses not to pass it on. That is the kind of power that no preacher can instill. No textbook can capture. And you, whether you know it or not, have the same type of power. You've taught God more about faith than most people will ever know, since your faith was not based on comfort. It was cut out of the middle, produced in regions where nothing made sense. Despite this, you persisted with the tale. That is why the benefits you get today seem different. It's not only your moment in a general cosmic cycle. It's the point at which your truth becomes louder than your hardships. You earned this season in quiet, through late hours that no one knew about, and self-control. People who had never grasped your discipline saw it as loss when you made judgments that made no sense on paper, but were totally in tune with your soul. So now, something has shifted. The light you've been building in solitude begins to spread. The peace you used to battle for appears with less opposition, and others begin to sense something around you that they cannot explain. That is not a coincidence. That's the product of a soul that refused to give up. And maybe you are still hesitant about it. Perhaps you're still adjusting to the thought that kindness can come to you without causing mayhem. Perhaps joy still feels for him like if it were a language you once spoke well, but lost after years of survival. That is all right. It's returning right now. And not because you manifested it properly. Not because you finally came up with the correct things to say in prayer, but because God never questioned you. The divine understood precisely what it was doing when it placed that spirit in your body and gave you deeper seeing eyes, a heart that feels further, a voice that has more weight than you realize. You embody what healing looks like in action. You exemplify honesty in a society that values performance. You embody what it means to walk as a spirit that recalls its origins, even when the world forgets. Take a listen. It has not been easy. The most holy alterations are seldom realized. There were evenings when you didn't sleep, mornings when you did not want to get up and try again, moments when you felt compelled to retaliate. Instead, you unleashed. And that version of you, the peaceful fighter, that is the one. Heaven celebrates the loudest. Not the flawless, polished you, but the real you. The person who wrestled, the one who remained, the person who succumbed without quitting. You no longer need to earn a place at the heavenly table. You've already constructed it with your perseverance, love, and decision to keep going. You had every cause to sit down, and now the seat is being prepped. Because the God who has seen you through every conflict is now putting glory in your hands. And that is not a favor. This is a response. So here you are, poised on the verge of a life that finally acknowledges you. And maybe it feels odd. Perhaps you're not accustomed to this level of easiness. 2 doors open without a battle, and 2 people see your worth without requiring you to first show your agony. But let me make it plain. It is your time now, not just for peace, but for delight. Not merely survival, but also growth. Because there is a distinction between getting by and being fortunate. For far too long, you have learned how to endure. But now you're going to remember how to accept. That type of adjustment does not occur simply because time passes. It occurs when alignment converges with identity. When your soul no longer plays small in order to avoid attracting too much attention. And make no mistake, your presence is strong. You are more than simply a source of light in someone's life. You are evidence that a person can be both delicate and strong, that someone can lose everything and yet choose to rebuild without hatred. You exude the type of elegance that makes others doubt their masks, the kind of truth that doesn't need to be screamed out. And now the world is responding to you, not only with signals and murmurs, but with actual, palpable changes and chances that come to you effortlessly. Relationships that do not drain you only to feel noticed. Paths that previously seemed impassable. Things are starting to clear up in front of you. Not because it's finally simple, but because you're prepared. You did not skip steps to get here. You experienced every detail of this narrative. And don't allow anybody make you feel like you need to explain it. You don't have to tell them about your scars for them to admire your courage. You don't owe anybody your trip merely to confirm your goal. Let them wander. Allow them to wonder how you got here. God saw everything. God kept count when nobody else could. You were seen in every secret prayer, in every moment of restraint, in every quiet determination not to return to the version of yourself that begged for crumbs when you were born to command the feast. You've matured in ways that no algorithm can measure. No camera can indicate that you've grown in your core. And from this moment on, the world will feel different. Not because things change, but because you did. Your judgment has improved. You do not entertain what depletes you. You don't pursue what confuses you. You don't negotiate with off-putting energy just because it disguises itself as opportunity. You've discovered what true calm feels like, which is why you no longer accept the turmoil that used to seem natural. You are not above everyone. You have simply finished shrinking unto yourself. This is what spiritual growth looks like. It is hardly a spectacular entrance. It's the everyday, steady unwillingness to shrink. The nuanced decisions to remain faithful when compromise would be simpler. The profound understanding that your worth does not change depending on who acknowledges it. And now the benefits aren't only arriving. They're right here in the way your body feels safer to live in. Your soul feels less dispersed, and you no longer need to be understood to be entire. Because the prize is not limited to what you are going to get. It is who you become. While waiting, let's sink in. This is not just a fresh chapter. This is a distinct book. The regulations are not same. The version of you who required everyone's permission is no longer telling this narrative. The version of you that confused loyalty for self-betrayal does not have the pen. You do. And God kissed the hand holding the pen before it realized how much power it had. So, live courageously and authentically. Choose with confidence. Not because you've never failed, but because each fall was a dress rehearsal for your triumph. Every choice, pain, and lonely hour. Every time, you began over. Even though you were still bleeding from the previous ending, it all counted. Everything was retained. It was all sacred, because God is pleased of you for continuing to seek His presence. Not because you were courageous, but because you moved anyway. The divine is watching, and heaven has already applauded. You have earned more than simply survival. You've attained honor, and it's already arrived. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you found this message useful, please like the video and share it with others who may benefit. Don't forget to subscribe and continue your incredible adventure by viewing one of the videos on your screen that speaks to you most. See you there. Dear viewers, your support through Super Chat and membership is the only source of income that keeps this channel running. If you want me to continue uploading valuable content without delays and to stay motivated in providing you with the best wisdom, I need your help. Every contribution, big or small, makes a huge difference. Feel free to donate and support Pure Wisdom so we can keep growing together. Your generosity keeps this journey alive. If you're enjoying the content on Pure Wisdom and find value in the messages we share, I encourage you to subscribe. Based on the latest analytics, 93.9% of viewers are watching without subscribing. By subscribing, you not only stay updated with new content, but also support the channel's growth, allowing us to continue spreading wisdom for the chosen ones. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an important message. Let's build this community together.